Hey friends, this is Meg at Chasing Retro. I finally have the 5 Eclectic journals ready and I'm going to do a flip through now. I wanted to give everyone ample time to see the flip throughs, and those of you that would like to buy one, the chance to schedule going to my shop to find them. They are going to be listed on Saturday, which will be September the 7th. At 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I went back and forth. I think that's the most easy to please time. It's on a weekend. It's not too early for the West Coast people. It's not too late for the East Coast people. So they will be available in my shop. Link is below to the shop on Saturday at 1 Eastern Time. Okay, so I have 5 and they are going to be named what the book cover shows to make it easier this time for me and you to remember. I will start with this one. These are all made from vintage children and or young adult books. This one is called Jenny Kimura, and it is a young adult fiction book, probably from the late 50s, early 60s. I left the back like it was. It shows the author. I thought that was really cool. All of these have 2 signatures, and each signature has between 17 and 18 folded pages, which means 34 leaflets, which is 68 back and fronts. That means that you will have about 136 total back and front spaces to write. And that's also including things like paper bags. So I include those as pages. I know some people don't. But so here is the dangle. All of them have a bead and button dangle and charm. And these are all from my vintage bead and button collections. A few newer items, like this peach is new. A lot of these I've gotten in Happy Meal. A lot of these I've gotten at estate sales. My craft reuse store. My own personal button collection that I've had since the kids were young and they were doing Montessori. So a little of everything. And then the signatures are sewn in with thread, and I put a little trim here on the edge just for a little decorative element. I did not add ties to these. I did not have the heart to poke a hole and put an eyelet for a tie on the side. Also, that would crush this. So I hope that's okay. These are not as stuffed as I normally make them, so they don't gape open a great deal. But I just really have a hard time putting ties on books that the cover is so beautiful, and I don't want to obscure it. But you're welcome to add one of your own. You can also get an elastic band or something that will go this way and it would hide less. I really need to make some of these for times like this, but I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. This book measures 8 1/4 by 5 1/4, and all of them have a 1.5 inch spine. This is I'm not going to go super slow through all of them, but the first one I might do a little more detail. Fabric tag, a little journaling card with cactuses. This is a book page pocket that I embellished. A lot of these are using up a lot of my stash, so I'm calling this an Eclectic Stash Busting Journal series. It's really nice to be able to get some of these items out of my stock and get room for new ones. This is an old Holiday Inn coupon. I have these insurance adjuster cards, and I embellished that, and then I stamped some tickets. We have a belly band here with a while you were out card and a little journaling page. Not card, that's a little piece of paper. This is from an old history book. Ledger paper, a South Carolina stamp, some vintage gift wrap. This is one of my stamped flowers I got a set of Stampin' Up! Blossom stamps. This is a really fun punch that I have on a seafoam green paper. Vintage fabric tab, recipe page. This one has a very colorful paper bag, and we have a little journaling page and a little animal rummy card. This is from a sewing book, and it had notes written all through, so that's really cool. I just sewed some fabric snippets to the edge of that page. This is a really pretty holographic sticker here on this vellum. A lot of the paper clusters in these were made by Sarah, the crafty journaler. I will link her channel below. She's super talented, and she blessed me with so many clusters, so I was able to use them. Oh, and most of the fabric clusters that I used are made by Carrie the Paper Monkey, so I'll link her as well. Vintage fabric here. This is a really cool 80s pool party invitation that I have. We have a little pocket here and a little tag. I need a 6-month vacation twice a year. And then this is from a art link letter game. This is a Kool-Aid dyed textbook page. This is some vintage trim that I found at a local antique shop, and isn't this marbleized paper beautiful? This is a vintage newspaper ad. This is from a Hallmark gift book. The center has a double pocket, and then I have a Franken tag, a vintage flashcard, and a stamped piece of stationery. We have buttons sewn in the middle. A vintage postcard from Vermont. And y'all might have seen that my husband and daughter helped me make journaling cards this weekend. This is one of them. They are whimsical and, shall I say, a little bit humorous. So I hope you like this kind of humor. It's a little bit interesting. They were just stretching their artistic muscles, and I think they turned out great. So I tried to put at least one in every journal. Here is a CD envelope that flips out, and I just put a cardstock that's cut to fit in here for secret journaling space. These have sewn elements throughout, and I used a variety of different thread colors. Here's some hot pink, but I also used brown, black, blue, and maybe orange or yellow, I can't remember. Pom-pom trim on some colored graph paper. This is a whale tail from Carrie the Paper Monkey, a vintage Formica ad that I cut out of a magazine. This side of the bag has very old Monopoly money from the 40s and a dessert recipe that was clipped out of a calendar from the 80s, maybe 70s. It's very old. I found it at a estate sale. I glued a little bit of mint ribbon here. So as you can see, these are eclectic, but I cannot help it. I have to make them somewhat match color-wise. So maybe one day I'll get better at just letting it go, but for now, I have to let things harmonize. This is just a fun little garland that I made with some paper punches sewn together. Little sewing pattern girls. Here's the fabric flip. This is a quilt circle that I found in a bag at an antique store. And this is some vintage seersucker. This is part of a pay stub from IBM from the 80s. And this little journaling card that I stamped. A vintage roll recipe, and then an index card with fabric and wallpaper tag. A belly band here with a vintage recipe card, and I have this little, it's like a flip book of home decorating, and it has ceramic tile, carpet, drapery material, and wallpaper. And this is the tile. A project planning page, a color finder book page. This is a piece of ephemera from a railroad from the 70s. It's got cute little cartoons, some wallpaper, and a little flip pad attached to that. A little book about, it had no words, it was an Edwardian holiday book, and it has beautiful pictures. Here's an embossed piece of paper. This is from a old New England catalog. Rectangle doily. This is from an Eric Carle book, and I put hot pink fringe. This is one of the cards that Mary from Plethora of Paper gave me last week. Very, very old. Another stamped ticket and a dry cleaning ticket. A fabric pocket. I got this at an estate sale. It's super mod 60s decorator fabric. And this is another one of our altered tag or journaling cards from this weekend. and a vintage invitation. It looks very 90s. Here's one of the clusters that Carrie made. I tried to put a little, you know, this thing, the labeler. I tried to put a labeler sticker in all of them. A vintage flashcard and a little note page. Just a random note page. Finally got a chance to use it. It makes no sense, but you know, that's what eclectic journals are for. So normally I do my pockets inside the center, but I decided to be different. So I flipped them out, and in the center I put a sentence strip. And here is one of my TV cards, and a little Project Life card, and one of my altered coin wrappers with a secret journaling spot. Wallpaper pocket with just a cute little journaling page, and then a page out of a top value coupon book. This is some Franken paper that I created, like a, I don't know what you call this, a tip in maybe, a fold in. And this is some dyed paper that I ordered off Etsy recently. Little tiny book page envelope with a teeny tiny Six Flags playing card and another claimed ticket. Paper cluster. Playing card sewed to the edge of this flip out. Here's a full page fabric pocket. And in here we have a vintage postcard from 1941. This lady, Mr. J.A. Nance, was evidently going to a cooperative registered Hereford cattle sale. So that's really fun. The rest of that railway ad or ephemera that someone got on a trip. This is one of my altered mason jars and just a little label. I'm not sure if it's a sticker or not. It might be on this little tuck spot here. And last of all, a music flashcard and an order slip with this belly band. So this one is called Jenny Kimura. Next is very similar, same publisher, different book, different author. This one is called A Time for Tenderness. This one is a little bumpy on the back. It looks like it might have been set down in some water at some point, but it is, it's still in really great condition. I would not have used it if it wasn't. So on all of these, I did put new end papers in. I really like to do that to bring the colors together. Here's a fabric tag and a secret journaling spot in a coin wrapper. And then we have an old Monopoly card and an Animal Rummy card. In this tuck spot, we have a note sheet and a flash card. A belly band with While You Were Out and a little journaling page. I tried to sew a little more in these along the edges of pages. I really want to start doing that more. Here's a vellum pocket with two little journaling pages. I stamped that image. A playing card sewed to this book page of the Frog Prince. I glued this beautiful pink trim to the edge of that page, and then here we have a fabric index card and a stamped page, journaling page. This is from a vintage Jeopardy game. We have a very old photo and art link letter game piece and another stamped ticket. Fabric on the edge. This is from an old Paramount catalog. An oval doily. Here's a little circle pocket with another stamp tag and a little tiny tag. Stamp ticket, not tag. Steno paper, blossom paper, Kool-Aid dyed book page, and a little stamped flower. Little tiny envelope. I don't know who sent this to me, but it's from Happy Mail. It's gorgeous. with some little tobacco coupons in here. Dyed paper, fabric pocket with a Franken tag and a green stamp book page. This is a page of blueprints that I believe I got from Johnna, the, I'm getting all of the names mixed up tonight for some reason. I did not sleep well last night, so please forgive me if I say something wrong. Johnna, I'm so sorry. I cannot think of your channel right now, but I will link your channel below. Please check Johnna out. She finds the coolest stuff. And this is blueprints from, oh, I thought it said, I think it's something in Georgia though. Vintage Monopoly Money. This is another one of the random journaling cards that we made this weekend. And a giant Go Fish game card. Buttons in the center. A little snippet of a sentence strip, a cute little calculator journaling card, and a TV card. I believe that's National Velvet. Fabric tab, some washi tape, some more Franken paper that flips out, blossom paper, the vintage sewing ladies. Here is another one of those dangly garlands. Another vintage ad that I just glued on the corner of that page. This is a real estate transfer tax stamp, whatever that is. And a vintage piece of lace on the edge of that. This is some of my favorite vintage trim. I put on the edge of that page. There's the frog prints. We have a belly band here with a large journaling card and a very large fabric pocket. And in here we have one of the altered insurance underwriter's card rather. Oh, this is one of my newest book finds. The whole book is hot pink and green and I love it. An uptuck pocket with a Project Life card and a music flashcard. Oops. This is actually an offcut from my mom when she gave me her scan and cut. She just had some scraps and I was like, that is the cutest little thing. I'm gonna use it as a pocket. A little tiny journaling card, a little label, and another one of those decorating book pages. In this belly band, I put a tag made out of vintage gift wrap, a children's songbook page with pom-poms. Here's an embossed paper with vintage lace. This I got in Happy Mail. This is a decoupaged glassine bag, and we have a little note sheet in here. Paper cluster, a book about sewing, draperies, vellum, children's book page, stamped page. This is from a scrapbook that I found. It's a YWA, which is a Young Women's Association, I think it's a Baptist association. And it was a little banquet in 1962. And I put Rick Rack here, vintage current gift wrap. Here's the little sticker from the punch. It says Shine Bright. A calendar page, a flip pad, ledger page, a sticker, a little flower there, another ledger, a vintage thank you card, and a vintage postcard from Nova Scotia. The sentence strip is in the center here. Another one of the random cards. And a vintage playing card. Little tiny fabric flower here. This is a fold out CD envelope and this card comes out. A fabric flip. The back of the YWA booklet was ripped because it was taken out of a scrapbook, so I turned it into a pocket. And we have a postcard from Italy, from the island of Capri. And no, I have not been there. Another vintage ad for Goody's headache powder. I don't think I showed you the dangle on this one. I'll do that last. journaling card and a cute little hummingbird journaling sheet. A Franken pocket, and I tucked a doily in here, a vintage recipe card, and another one of the random little journaling cards we made. Last but not least, a stationery page. I love the stationery that I just folded and put it in here. Okay, so the dangle on this one has a lot of peach, pink, white, brown, all the colors that are in the cover. And they just sound amazing too, like a wind chime. A Time for Tenderness was that one, and it measures what the other one did, 8 1/4 by 5 1/4 by 1 1/2. Next is called Sunshine and Rain. This one is 8 by 5 1/2 by 1 1/2. It has a dangle as well, has a butterfly. This one has a seashell, metal buttons, plastic buttons, a little tassel, little feather bead, and this little Tim Holtz sky. The back of it looks like this. I got all of the little scuffs off that I could, and then I put some pom-pom trim there. A library pocket with one of my Braillard cards, and I stamped lovely. Hidden journaling spot here, and a vintage photograph from a scrapbook. Edith Elizabeth Thomas from the, I want to say it was like 1923 this scrapbook was. I think it's the one that I got from Mary at Plethora of Paper last year. Still loving it, still using it. This is a pocket that Gardens, Naomi at Gardens, I think her name is. She does not have a channel, but she is a part of the Makers Market community. She sent me this lovely Happy Meal, and it had this beautiful green cluster or collage pocket, and it was perfect for this journal. This is from Sarah, the crafty journaler, and a music flashcard. As you can see, there's lots of green in this one if you like green. Here's a Smithsonian note sheet on this belly band. Some green sewing around the edge. A typing book page. Another real estate tax stamp. I sewed some eyelet to the edge of that page. And here in this tuck spot, we have a journaling card and a recipe card. A bag with another random journaling card. This has a wolf on it and an animal rummy with a raccoon. A dyed hem page. A beautiful purple sticker on this purple cardstock page. A wallpaper pocket and a Franken tag, a wallpaper covering book page, and a journaling card with a whale tail. Vintage gift wrap. Little tiny tree house or gnome house, I'm not sure what it is. Vintage plant page. Oh, this is from a needlepoint book. So it was about macrame, I think. A vintage physics textbook page. A flower arrangement ad from the 50s. Some dyed paper that I ordered off of Etsy, and some beautiful jute trim. Los Angeles phone numbers of the top producers in the 50s. A fabric tab. Embossed paper. A vintage greeting card. Here is some more. This is the one from Columbus, Georgia. I don't know where the other one was then. This is Hampton Inn in Columbus, Georgia. And this has a Preppy Crafty Girl. That's Johnna's channel's name, Preppy Crafty Girl. I'm gonna need to link all of these channels. This is a stamp that I got recently at our crafts reuse store of a paper doll and a TV card. A hollyhock plant card. While you were out, in a little journaling page. Another fold-out CD envelope with the card inside. Steno paper. A little eucalyptus sticker. A Franken pocket with a fabric tag and the insurance adjuster's card with a little Victorian pansy. Franken paper fold out, some pom-poms on this page, just a little striped journaling page, and a very old recipe. This makes my mouth water. Peanut butter ice cream. This is from the 30s, I think. Ooh, this is a colorful one, a colorful flip pad. I really like the way this one turned out. Typing page with some figuring. Fabric flip. A recipe card and a vintage playing card. This little tuck spot, that's actually the wording that went with the picture in the children's reader. Vintage gift wrap tag, and this hilarious postcard with donkeys from Tempe, Arizona. A side pocket with a Project Life card and a stamped ticket and some play money from the Art Link letter game. A vintage catalog page, ledger, a paper cluster, recipe page, some really fun fabric here. This is a piano recital, mimeograph. The purple ink means mimeograph. I can still smell it. By the pupils of Mary Lou Couch. And the date, I think, is on the other end. But here's all of the little piano pupils and the songs that they chose to sing, or play, rather. I guess maybe they could have sung, too. That's hard to do, play and sing at the same time. Franken tag. Franken card, and this is from a game called Probe from the 70s. Some vellum, a sewing page, wallpaper, an up pocket here, a little book plate, and a vintage card that I got from Mary. Mary, I put to use a lot of things that you gave me in these. Some sewn snips. This is from one of my favorite children's books. It's about kids that don't really have any place to play in the city, so they just start playing in workplaces and they kind of get in trouble. Here's a little ticket and a little tag and an Art Link letter playing card, game card, vintage fabric. This is a very old antique book page with a poem, 2 poems, and a vintage greeting card for an uncle. Here is the sentence strip center. Here we have a fabric index card, a vintage photograph of this handsome chap, some vellum, and a little journaling page. Or it's also perfect for, those little pages like that are perfect for collage fodder. Here is a fabric cluster from Carrie. A vintage card with a Dotson and tennis. A full page of fabric pockets. And here I put a order slip, and I forgot the name of the stationery, but y'all know what it is. It's the embossed stationery that everybody goes cuckoo for. I don't have much of it, but I wanted to put a piece in this journal. This is a bridge tally and another random journaling card. And one of my stamped flowers. Oh, here it is. Piedmont, South Carolina, June 14th, 1960, Tuesday evening. Which is funny because I feel like piano recitals now are always on Saturday or Sunday. Some washi tape. Love much. This is from an old valance from a kitchen. I found this at a thrift store recently, and I cut the trim off, and it's perfect for journals. Here's a journaling card and a little sack. Someone sent this to me in Happy Meal. It's from Daiso, the Daiso Japanese store, which I don't have. And then a little cute tuck spot with a felt bee. And this is from the same valance. I made a pocket. And then Mary sent me this beautiful tag. And then we have this looks like it's in Italian or French. It's about Italy, but it might be written in French. It's a library card catalog card. So that one is called Sunshine and Rain. Next, this one is called Find Out. This is probably the most colorful tangle because I wanted to use colors from the cover. There's a little metal clock charm, metal buttons, wooden buttons, glitter beads, raspberry beads, lots of fun things. And then the back looks like this. It's a very scientific looking book, but it's so bright. It has a purple spine and multicolored thread, and I put yellow rickrack. And it measures 8.5 by 6, 1.5 spine. A book page pocket, wall covering page. This is actually fabric, and a Franken tag. A little monkey for journaling, and one of my TV cards. This is from a Boy Scout book. It was things that you can make for your mother or something like that. And then this is a little note page from a printer shop and an insurance card. And this is from a beautiful book about a seabird. Little tiny tag, let's go. Steno paper, recipe book page, sewn around the edge here. This, I found it in a scrapbook. She had it on a page of other things she had bought, so I'm assuming it was off some sort of packaging, and it was from the late 50s. This is embossed as well, from a Popular Mechanics book. Wallpaper here. I don't remember who sent me this. It might have been Sarah the Crafty Journaler, but I glued this, it's like a junk mail envelope pocket, and then here's one of the random cards, and there's something on the back. A little weird dry humor there. And decorating book page. I love the curtains. Doily. This is a dyed gardening book and some pom-pom trim. Fabric. A flip out. A little stamped flower. A fabric tag while you were out, and a postcard. I tell y'all, these are great. These are eclectic. That's why I love them. I don't even know, but this guy built this car. It's a concept vehicle, whatever that is. And it looks like it has a motorcycle as a base, maybe. So fun. You go, David. That's just, I mean, you do what you want to do. But I don't think I would build that, but it's pretty cool that you did. Here's another random card. This is probably the most random. It's quite funny. And then a stamped stationery page. My husband and daughter, by the way, are so tickled that some of their creations made it into these. I don't think they thought I was serious when I said I would use them. This is a corrugated paper cluster. A little corner pocket with a stamped ticket, a flashcard, and another one of those puzzle piece journaling cards. A lot of these are like classroom decoration type things. Some lavender graph paper and some fabric. A whale tail. Full page fabric. I love this fabric. One of my favorite finds this year. Very old antique book page with a poem. I'm not going to pull it out, but you see how old it is. And then a green stamp book page. It's a very delicate page, so that's why I put it in that pocket. Yum. Looks like potato salad. Stock exchange stamp. Stamped ticket. Play money, and a little fox card. This is from a birthday card that I got one year from my aunt, and I've been holding on to it forever, and I finally made it into a pocket. It's almost like Where's Waldo? Is it called Project Journaling card? I've said it several times, but now it sounds weird. I think that's what it is. And then a vintage gift wrap tag. Vintage playing card and fabric index card. A little belly band of sorts is going to get caught on there. And a little journaling page and card that I stamped. And it says, love this. I typed that. Double pocket here. Look at this ice cream. Orange ice cream. Ooh, yum. Heavy cream all the way. And then a quarters coin envelope. Another very old, I think they're author cards, and a Greek flashcard. This is from the books called 1010, and as you'll notice, they're in the original German. When our son was taking German in high school, I got him a few books like this to practice with, and he gave them to me when he graduated and said I can use them for journals. Yay. I grew up reading 1010 too, but it was translated into English, of course. This is a letter for a Carolina co-ed attending University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I got this in an estate sale recently in Clemson. Evidently, they were living in Clemson, but evidently they were UNC Chapel Hill grads, and it was in a scrapbook, and I had to rescue it because that's what we do. Purple dyed paper, vellum. This is an Ideals book page, a color book page, another, I don't know why I cannot remember the name of this, garland, vintage gift wrap from the 80s, a vintage greeting card that has foil. Here's some rickrack there. Paper bag with a journaling card and some brayer paper for writing on. Handwriting page. A vintage ad for Jolly Time popcorn, a yearbook page, some vintage butterfly trim, another paper cluster. Here's a flip up little pad, paper pad. And this is a vintage paper placemat. This is probably one of the first things I ever bought when I started junk journaling, and I am still trying to use them up. I don't have many, but I'm kind of sparingly using them. A vintage photograph and airmail envelope. It's not original, it's a repro, but. And then here is a little card that I made with the flower and a doily and a fold out stationery page. Little flower here, a vintage Clue game card with Colonel Mustard, some vintage teal ribbon. It matched this book perfectly that I ruffled. A vintage ad down here. Some of my tape, just a little journaling page with some purple flowers. This book, I tried to use a lot of purple because of the color in the front on the cover. A little sticker. This one has like texture on it, like almost like glossy accents. This is from a children's book, of course, and I made it into a tuck spot. Rice Krispies crunchy fudge sandwiches, and it sounds a lot like something my mom used to make when I was a kid. And vintage gift wrap. Fold out page. Ideals page and vellum. Fabric flip. And a side pocket with a casino punched card, a bingo page, and vintage note sheet. So that one's called Find Out. That's what it will be listed under. And last but not least is our English language. This one's the tallest. It's actually the heaviest too. A lot of these charms are very heavy, full glass or metal, in all the colors from the cover. Tried to make it look kind of Western. So of all of them, this is probably the least feminine, but I wouldn't call this a masculine journal by any means, but it just sort of lended itself to that as I went along just because of the colors. It also is sort of fall-esque, like the colors look very fall-like. So if you're wanting a fall journal, this might be a fun one to use. It's got part of a horse on the back. I could not figure out how to save his face, but he's under there. There he is. And I put some baby rickrack there. This measures 9 1/4 by 6 1/8. Like I said, all of these have 17 to 18 folded pages in each signature, and there's 2. Here is a science page turned into a pocket, Frankentag, flashcard. This is one of my patchwork pockets, fabric swatch card, TV card. This is a belly band with a little mushroom note page, a little blue page, and while you were out yearbook page. I sewed a Chinese Ming vase playing card there. This is a very vintage seal, is what I'm trying to say. Protection and investment. I'm assuming these were like for file folders or something. Here is a fun little pocket, and then I put a book quote there, and another one of the random journaling cards, and a stamped note sheet with a key. Orange pom-poms. A Campbell's soup ad, 80s gift wrap, Sewing Lady. This is, of course, from Madeline. I don't remember which Madeline it is. It's when she meets Pepito. Maybe it's that bad hat. I don't remember. Some brown calico fabric. There's a tuck spot with a journaling card and a note sheet. A stamped flower. Can I see? This is a page about the dams in North Carolina and up into Tennessee, I think. And evidently it was in a scrapbook, so it must have been from a field trip or something. This card gets pulled out for journaling. A little tiny pocket with a gift wrap tag. This is from an Ideals book. Dyed paper. Isn't that red vibrant, y'all? I'm saving some of this for Christmas journals. This is a children's book page. I sewed around the edge of that. This is a page of title. This is a page from a book of title currents. So it's just really cool. This is from Utah and a birthday card, vintage birthday card. And then here we have a giant playing card. And this is from a scrapbook as well. This is a music program from, I think it's an orchestra of something. And then they were having these small sort of recitals to listen to each other's music at several people's homes. Some of them, most of them were mid-afternoon, so they must have been ladies who did not work. Very cool. Just a little slice of history. An index card with fabric. Here is a flip pad. Create. Here's a ruffle, fabric ruffle. Here's a garland. I remembered this time. It's a garland. Yeah, the Tennessee Valley Authority. I think there's like a spoof song, or maybe I'm thinking of something else. I think there's a song, a country song about this. I may be completely making that up, but fold out Franken page, ledger page, Madeline, stock exchange stamp, some blue rickrack. This is a full page fabric pocket with an insurance card and a green book, green stamp page, handwriting paper with some aged tape, yearbook page. Here is a belly band with a teacher's notepad and a vintage recipe card. a stamped piece of paper with a flower and a Project Life card. Project Life. What did I say before? Project Journaling. I'm so sorry, y'all. Here's a Bible, like a Bible trivia game card, and Animal Rummy, a stamped ticket, and a little tiny tag. I just had to put him in here because it was a cowboy and that's what's on the cover. Here's another one of those little cast off things when my mom gave me her scan and cut. Here's another random tag. This one's probably the most random of all. I mean, you can journal on that. It's just quirky. And then here is a lemon pie recipe written on a little phone message sheet. I got that at an estate sale too. This is a house plans book. A paper cluster by Sarah the Crafty Journaler, and it has acetate in it, which is so cool. A vintage graduation card. An atlas. This is a vintage greeting card. It's very thin. It's paper, but it's from Maine, and I must have gotten these from Sarah. New England Junk Journals. I could be wrong, but usually if it's something Maine related, it's her that has sent it my way. This is just a fun coloring page with journaling space, a green doily, a dyed garden book, embossed paper. This is a clothing label off something that I bought a few years ago. It says Lucky Brand. I keep everything now. This is a shop, like a high school shop class textbook. Monopoly money and a stamped ticket. This is a classroom, like a little note that you would send home to a parent. And then a fabric tag and just a little swatch that I turned into a journaling card. The center has buttons, of course. Here we have a stationery page. I folded it long ways. And then do y'all remember the Coffee Beanery? We had one in our mall. I loved their font and their logo, but my goodness, their coffee was good. And these are all frozen coffee drinks and iced coffee drinks. So I really didn't want to let go of this, but I'm going to. Carry On, I stamped on that. You know, you can if you have coffee. It's perfectly placed. A little sun tuck spot with a journaling, playing card and an author card. I tried to leave lots of writing space in these, or if you're going to use it for drawing or putting photographs. I didn't want to decorate every inch. Words from the Bible. It's like a bingo game. I love this greeting card. It feels like parchment. An ad for a giant pansy seed, or I think they're actually live plants. Some vintage crochet lace there, and a very long, very beautiful, colorful fabric flip. And this says "Right On." Last but not least, I made this pocket eons ago. It is one of those multi-point pockets with lots of different places to put things. So we have a little label here and a coin wrapper and an antique book page and a menu planner page and a receipt with the little carbon copy. So, our English language, find out, sunshine and rain, a time for tenderness, and Jenny Kimura. These will all be in my shop Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for watching. If you stayed to the end, you are a trooper. I appreciate all of you so much, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. If you'll tune in on Friday, I will be posting the details of the collaboration for our ephemera extravaganza. So stay tuned for that. See you soon. Bye.